Honors Economics. And before we begin, I'd like to speak a little bit about the nature and the structure of this class. As you may or may not know, this class is only a semester long, which means we have a relatively short time to cover all of our objectives as required by the state of Georgia. This class also has an end-of-course test. So what all this means is that the pace of this class is going to be very, very fast. So it's not going to be uncommon for us to cover an entire chapter's worth of material in a single class period. So the important thing is for you to keep up and don't fall behind. So why don't we go ahead and begin? If you thought economics is about money and wealth, I'm sorry to tell you, you're wrong. Economics is the study of how people and nations satisfy their wants and needs by making choices. But what are wants and what are needs? Well, a need is something that you must have to survive, and they're very limited. Humanity only really needs three things for survival. We need food, we need water, and we need shelter. Wants, on the other hand, are unlimited, and everyone has them. Wants are simply things that we desire, but don't really need to survive. I want you to take a couple of seconds and think about all of your wants. It's a lot, isn't it? Now, what keeps you from satisfying all of your wants? Well, it's probably one of two things. You either don't have enough time to satisfy all your wants, or you don't have enough money to satisfy all your wants. So, time and money, in most of our cases, are scarce resources. Because they're scarce, we have to choose how to use our time and money in the most efficient way possible to satisfy the most wants. This leads us to the concept of scarcity. So let me ask you a question. Why is a diamond valuable? Is it because diamonds are pretty? No. Many items are pretty, but don't have anywhere close to the value of a diamond. Is it because it's useful? No, not really. Lots of items are useful, but don't have value like a diamond. Diamonds are valuable because they're scarce. Another way to think of scarce is rare. Generally speaking, the more scarce a resource, the greater the value. But here's the thing, all resources are scarce. There's no unlimited quantity of any resource out there on the earth. So some resources, however, are more scarce than others. Scarcity, because it exists, is the force that compels us, people, nations, to make decisions about how to use our resources. Let's talk about resources for a minute. Productive resources are the things that we must combine to make a good or a service. The first resource you need to be aware of is a resource known as land. Land is an economic term for natural resources. If you're going to produce a good or service, you've got to have raw materials. Land resources would be things like gold, oil, wood, animals, and even water. If it comes from the earth, it should be considered land. Labor refers to the human contribution in producing a good or service. When we go to work, we're exchanging our labor for pay. All goods on some level require human labor. Even factories that are fully automated have human workers monitoring the progress of the machines. Capital is a tricky productive resource because there's actually two types: human capital and physical capital. Physical capital are the physical items that we use to produce goods and services. This would be things like tools, machines, and buildings. Just basically the stuff we use to make stuff. Human capital is the knowledge and skill an individual gains through education and experience. Think about this. By sitting here and learning economics, you're developing your human capital. You're making yourself more valuable to a potential employer sometime in the future. The final productive resource, entrepreneurship, is not a physical resource. It's an ability that some people have. These people recognize a need in the market and then combine land, labor, and capital to meet this need. People like Ray Kroc, Sam Walton, and Oprah Winfrey are great examples of entrepreneurs. Each of those individuals saw a need in the marketplace and then created a business or a product to serve that need. In the case of Ray Kroc, he saw the need for fast food. He's the guy who came up with McDonald's. Prior to Ray Kroc, there was no such thing as a fast food establishment. Sam Walton is the founder of Walmart. He recognized the need for a large store that that provided a wide variety of goods and services at the lowest possible cost. And then Oprah Winfrey, who's an entertainer, recognized the need for an entertainment network focused on women. And each became incredibly successful because they recognized these needs and then provided the good or service to satisfy them. For homework tonight, I want you to think about the community that you live in. And I want you to come up with a good or service that is relatively scarce or is needed. Then I want you to tell me what you would need in terms of the productive resources to produce this good or a service. I want to thank you for watching and urge you to have a good day.